Today is just a knowledge share of Gen AI and ways that hopefully most are thinking about when they work or the possibilities of them. So I call this Beyond the Hype because maybe we want to do more of AI or don't know where to start or don't know how to knowledge share. So I would love to be able to facilitate that for you. So for me, I just wanted to get to that reference as quickly as possible. That is actually why I even decided to go down this career path of generative AI. So imagine this. I came across this amazing tweet that came out. So 50 years ago, if you wanted to see a picture of a raccoon, you either have to already have it or drive to a library. And a raccoon in a funny hat, oh, forget about it. Well, guess what? These days, I can probably get a picture of a raccoon, but how about a very demure raccoon? Very mindful raccoon. Well, hi, I am Jerlyn, a recovering creative on the art side. And I have a little human that calls me mom and sometimes by my first name, Jerlyn. I have published 7 personal books and I have been in anthologies. I've run up to 50 miles on purpose and I did 2 half Ironman distances. I love thinking outside the box with numerous tools and making immersive, memorable experiences and teaching how to. And I love connecting and designing for people I know and I don't know yet. I have actually a broad range of knowledge and ability to connect ideas from different disciplines, and that's why I'm known as a polymath. Polymaths are often characterized by their curiosity, their creativity, and ability to see connections between seemingly unrelated tasks. They are often passionate learners who enjoy exploring new subjects and challenging themselves, and I challenge myself a lot and often. Um, and I'm excited about AI's potential to transform the world. I'm curious about how it works. I'm excited about its possibilities. I'm eager to learn more. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, you probably see me post very annoying experiments I have all the time. So I also want to talk about where I'm from. I'm from Dominica, not Dominican Republic. Dominica is in the Caribbean, and that's what it looks like. It kind of looks like a dude. Um, the Caribbean Sea is on one side and the Atlantic on the other. And I'm from a tiny village in the Northeast called Wesley. And when I grew up in Dominica, I had no running water or electricity. I used to carry water in my head like this, and I got to a point where I could balance it. I think I probably dropped it once, and I had to go back to the river and get more water. But essentially, it came from humble beginnings where we raised chickens, I had pigs, rabbits, I even had a pet goat. Yeah, so that's basically my life. But I spent most of my childhood reading before I touched a computer. And that didn't happen until I immigrated to the Virgin Islands. So essentially, I'm self taught in that aspect. But, and by the way, this is a floppy disk for those of you who are like quite younger than me and you don't know what that is. Um, for some time, I learned how to code and I worked with kids around my age who are into this. And I got a domain when I was 15 where I wrote a vectoring tutorial that got really popular. I have to credit my past boss, John, for even purchasing that domain for me. And for you creatives, I for vectoring, it's that trace tool that now exists in Illustrator. So as you see, technology's improved to make us more efficient. So vectoring used to take me all day. Anyway, I learned how to code and didn't realize I can do this as a job. And I saw a job post that actually inspired me to attend Rochester Institute of Technology. I'm actually the first person in my family to attend college. And at RIT, I got a part-time job as a web designer. So when I graduated, I knew Flash and JavaScript. So I decided to apply as an interactive graphic designer. So where are my Flash devs at? I know Steve Jobs killed it. But as you know, I just wanted to highlight that technology changes. So I worked on a lot of things. A creative director, I worked in Heineken and as my first brand and also LG. And at some point I figured I needed to pay my student loans. So I came over to pharmaceutical advertising. While there were many awards and also I've been a judge twice, thank you, Tim. What I love about immediately was the science and math part of it. I went to a science math magnet school and I attended RIT with engineering friends. And my engineering friends keep me up to date with tech they knew, such as machine language, ages ago. So I started reflecting recently on what has been that thread. So past opportunities I had because I'd been exposed to tech, such as ESPN or Vice. And now, of course, I have to name drop. So actually, Hillary Clinton has a piece of my work on her feed, and Barack Obama follows me on Twitter. And Viola Davis owns a piece of my artwork. And recently, I was recruited by top tech companies, especially during lockdown. So that kind of gave me affirmation of being exactly where I needed to be when I was where I was when I worked on the Pfizer COVID website during lockdown because I love science. Anyway, I want to talk about real use cases of AI. Since I'm an early adopter and I really thought it as, oh, I can definitely generate diverse stock photography with it. It was instantaneous. I had to find ways to easily communicate with my team of my ideas, and some of that was actually generating the right people, the right image, the right illustration. So I know that pictures can show ideas better than words, making it easier to talk about designs. And you can quickly make and try out different designs to see what works the best. So, by the way, the examples I show here are no way finals. This is just to inspire thoughts of what they can be used for. So, in this case, I had a day in the life assignment. So, one of the first thing I did with generative AI is working a capacity was ideating for a social post. So the team asked me to come up with an idea and they gave me a timeline of a few days. So I went back to my desk. I used ChatGPT to create a screenplay with 6 frames and I added some context of what the 3 ideas were. In Midjourney, I quickly did sketches and I brought them into InDesign. Can you guess how long that took? Well, it took me less than half an hour. And I showed it to the team and I this is what they just selected. And as you see, this is great. They were able to produce a product or a design or a video for social posts. So right now, we or I can do more sophisticated work with AI. So in this instance, I came up with a brand. Everything here is in AI, by the way, written by AI, the storyline, the generated images, and even the logo and tagline. The music that I'm going to show and even the voiceover was edited by AI. So here we go.
In the city that never sleeps, meet the new buzz in town. Introducing Spark Brew, where coffee meets effervescence. Experience a refreshing twist to your daily coffee ritual. Fuel your day with the perfect blend of caffeine and bubbles. Share the spark. It's not just a drink, it's a conversation starter. Spark Brew. Elevate your coffee experience. Unleash the fizz.
So with that, the process actually got easier. I actually know the co-founder of Catalyst. So Catalyst is a generative AI tool for creating visual stories effortlessly. It's suitable for filmmakers and content creators. It simplifies scripts and storyboard creation with character and scene generation, ensuring consistency with swift adjustments for seamless storytelling. Um, and this is just, they are not paying me for this. But as you see, there's like so many tools out there that makes the process much faster. So what I did in half an hour actually is expedited with these new AI tools. So I got back into my need to create as an artist. Like we have this obsession of creating. I don't know if some of you actually feel the same. So I took a day off a couple years ago when I started dabbling in AI, and I decided to publish a book completely written by AI. So the pages that are here have prompts to follow along, and this is where I started thinking about more about who owns the copyright because currently I'm listed as a compiler. ChatGPT and Gemini are listed as the writers, and Midjourney and Fireflies are the illustrators. So they came up with the name itself as well. So it's a coffee table book about coffee written by AI, and it's called Artificial Aromas. I also use AI for random small things like creating pattern designs. So these are what is done in Photoshop, basically. These are done in Photoshop, but there's Firefly and Illustrator for patterns as well. And here's my customizable, trained, fully autonomous, AI-driven interactive AI assistant that I made in um, that I made and customized. And here's an example of one.
Hi, I'm one of the customized digital humans that Jerlyn spoke about. I'm wearing her company's t-shirt, although I'm not zoomed in close enough for you to see. What do you think? I can try to take another step back. Pretty cool, right?
So honestly, I just wanted to be the next AI Va DuVernay. So Ava Marie DuVernay is an American filmmaker, screenwriter, and producer that I am obsessed with. And when I started doing these like very quick videos in I really got inspired to do even more. So here are some old experiments I did for the holidays with the same idea of having a storyboard to test the various tools and concept. And then I thought about what else can I do? So in college, I did some 3D training. So now and then I dabble, and I was curious about whether there's text to 3D. But of course, it exists. So I made this prompt in a text to 3D program. I brought it into Blender, which is free. I rigged it, and then I created an AR experience, as you see the process right now. Again, I can quickly do something like this to show my team or my client, and then just bring it into real life. So here's a cool augmented reality experience. Like it's moving, bring it out in space on my desk, and then it comes to life. And then, you know what? I kind of freaked myself out. I realized I could potentially create deep fakes, and that scared me a bit. So here's what deep fake looked like.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to dive into the world of generative AI? I'm Jerlyn, your guide into the realm of creativity and innovation. I've poured my passion for technology and AI into crafting a series of workshops. In them, we'll unlock the power of generative adversarial networks, explore the magic of neural networks, and harness the potential of AI to spark creativity like never before. Whether you're a seasoned AI pro or just dipping your toes into the digital waters, these workshops are designed for you. Get ready to code, create, and collaborate with fellow tech enthusiasts. Take your chance to join me on this extraordinary AI journey. Let's innovate, design, and transform the world together. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's make AI history. See you soon.
AI history. So here you go. I still prefer using my drawings as references, and I continue mixing tools like Mental Canvas. That's my jam. I was in Firefly beta testing, so I was able to test some generative fill in beta as well. So here I am also experimenting with things such as the Drost effects. So I can just come up with anything that's in my mind, have some references, and create. And what I didn't expect was for my work to be at the world's biggest celebration of history making creativity in Cannes, France. Um, I also had some pretty cool some cool interaction and opportunities as well, like including becoming a vendor at one of the largest sports sports companies ever. Thanks, Gary. And also Queen Bee herself, like consults. So here are some more things you can do with AI. You can train your models. So they won't always be perfect because that's still a technology that's pretty like relatively decent, but not great. But my collection of art came from my books. And yes, you can make Midjourney come up with some prompts, like for example, describe them. But having a small collection is very useful in my process. So these are trained with 28 or so images, and are kind of decent enough to get about 80% of my style, as you see. And of course, if you use the same prompts in any of these mainstream platforms, they will look significantly better, and they are getting even more sophisticated. They're scraping the internet. They're also getting more refined, so more users. So of course, they're going to look different, even if they're using the same prompt. So while we're still unsure of this entire landscape, some things to consider: intellectual property. So generative AI can be used to create content that infringes on existing copyrights or trademarks. So to avoid legal issues, it's important to ensure that the generative content is original and does not violate the rights of others. That's why I actually am a Adobe ambassador, because they create the software that is pretty safe to use. Like how they train their data is very important to me. I also think about privacy. So generative AI models can be trained on large data sets that may contain sensitive personal information. So it's crucial to protect user privacy by anonymizing or encrypting data and obtaining appropriate content. And by the way, you can use AI for almost anything. I use AI for gardening, identifying plants, getting recommendations of how to take care of them. I also use Meta glasses to identify what I'm seeing, or Alexa devices to tell me what I'm holding in my hand. So pretty useful things, like even spell check. So most of the tools that you see here can sometimes start with free credits. So it's a great idea to try and see what you like about them. You don't need to commit, but it'd be cool to share some things, like with the world. So just take a look. And as you see, I like to experiment, so I can even use AI now to critique layouts, which is pretty cool. So I did this one, and it's science-based because I love science. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you found something inspiring from this presentation, and let me know how you use AI in the comments. Thank you.